most. But I'm kind of glad it's being challenged because, I definitely think we should get more, more women doing something in the scene. I think this whole like rude boy nature of the scene is also very like, I like to hear a song that gives me this energy, but I don't think, at least me personally, I never intended to like, oh well, let's keep women out. On the contrary, bring them in, show me something, like make music as well, like the DJ. Let's see you doing. Let's see what you can bring to the scene, and that takes me to actually someone that I discovered very recently. Was an amazing singer songwriter. She goes by the name of Reeps, and she's from, if I'm not mistaken, Gloucestershire. Did I say that right?
Yeah, Gloucestershire.
Thank you, Gloucestershire.
Just down the road from me.
Yeah, there you go. And she's amazing. She basically, I discovered her because she had these tracks and she needed like production services, and at first she's just asking me to do 2 tracks, and I'm thinking, well, if she needs me to do the tracks, I'm thinking I have to do the whole thing from scratch. And then I gave her a price, and she was like, yeah, it's a little bit steep because making a whole track is different animal. It's not the same as mixing, And then I was like, listen, how about this? Like, do you have any demo of something you've done? Because maybe we might be able to do this. Maybe what you need is not like a full-blown production. Maybe all you need is just a little bit of help. And the tracks were great, man. I was like, dude, this is amazing. All you need is a mix. You're good. Let me take care of that. No, it's not going to cost you this much. It's going to be much. And I made it a lot easier. And she was so happy. And what started as a client, service relationship, we ended up becoming like she's like family to me right now. I was like, she needs to be heard more. People need to know. And her vocals were so on point and so good. Now I got her to collaborate with Toronto's Broken, as you also know, also a great, one of the more recent artists that are mixing drum and bass with metal.
He lives just down the road to me as well, so he's not.
There you go. Yeah. I'm a huge fan of what he's been doing. I think it's one of the, I would say one of the people that people should, how do you say it? Keep an eye on.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on. Like his new album's great. And Reeves is also featured on a few of these tracks. Like when I started to talking to her about this, it was like, all you need to do is be heard more. And the best way to do that is through collaborations. Don't worry too much about the things you cannot do. If you cannot mix, worry about the things you can do, and just join somebody who can maybe, complement that, because what you can do best is something that somebody else out there needs. And that's it. That's how you blend in there. So I got her in touch with Toronto's Broken, got her in touch with Pythias. She's also on the new Pythias record that's coming out in a few days, I think.
Yeah.
And she's worked with Artifact, and to me this was like, I'm so happy when I'm able to facilitate these connections, because that's how I learned to grow the community. That's actually how I learned that most people make money, is helping other people make money. Help other people connect, help other people just make things happen, and then just money follows.
Yeah.
So I'm all about, more women contributing more to the scene. What I'm not about is people faking it. And this is my thing exactly. Like, why should anyone be fake about what they're doing? This is the one thing that I think is just, it's not productive. It doesn't help the case, because when someone's like, well, this is my track. No, that's not your track. Like, somebody else is doing it. Just say it out loud. We can still very much say, like, I am a better vocalist. I am a better, violin player. I'm much better at this than I am at doing this other technical stuff. That's great, because, for instance, I can't sing like that. I can't play the violin for shit, but I can mix. So let's blend this together and let's see how we together can mix. And then that's much better. That's much more real. We need more of that. What we don't need is fake producers. Doesn't matter what gender you are. That's what I think.
It's a big talking point, isn't it, on the internet right now? There's a lot of people going into it. My opinion on this is that I think where there's money and the agents are looking, and where there's a loophole that people are pushing, they're trying to fill that gap a lot. And it seems as though a lot of these agents are plucking people out who have maybe got the look, they've got the attitude, the charisma, and they're putting them in that position, getting some of these experts to actually write the music for them and just using that almost as a marketing thing. I mean, you look at things like Simon Cowell. He does it with all the singers on the TV show that he does, you know, Britain's Got Talent and things like that. They're taking these people and they're taking these boy bands and they just have somebody else write the music for them. But it's the same, like I say, it's happening in drum and bass. Agents are getting older people, they're making them into stars, and they're just basically, well, no word for it, they're using them for all they can. And again, oh, you don't know how to make tunes, don't worry, we've got somebody who'll do that. And it's almost like putting together like a Lego producer, isn't it? A Lego artist. Here it is, the perfect artist. Let's get them on EDC. Let's get them on these big festivals, and we'll just wait until their age runs out or they become less interested, and we'll just get another one and put it in place as well. Yeah, I do blame it on the agencies more, because I mean, if you're young and somebody comes to you and says, "We're going to make you famous. Here's a bunch of money," there's not many people going to turn that down, is there, as well?
Yeah, I mean? and I think people should be really careful about that, because it's incredible how they screw people over in the end. You know, they get the right to fame, and then in the end, all these people are getting the most, you know, the majority of the percentage of the music, so to say. But that's also, like, in a way, that's kind of like they kind of shoot themselves in the foot when they allow other people to do everything for them.
Yeah.
Because how can an artist that doesn't do anything come and claim, oh, I want like, but that's my music, I want a bigger share of the royalties? They're gonna say, no, that's not your music.
Well, there's two things that's going to happen down the line, isn't there? Number one, you're going to get to a point where, okay, nobody's doing anything for you, and you just drop off the face of the earth, never, because you've not learned anything, you've got no talent, you can't do, well, I would say you got no talent, but you haven't got the learning of that, you know, of producing music. So you're just going to drop off and disappear. And a lot of artists have done that. And another thing is, as well, you start to get more knowledgeable of the music industry, and eventually you're going to fuck all that music, I signed it for life to this company or that company. Do you know what I mean? And you're like, I want my music back. And we've seen it online. There's been a few big producers. There was a trance producer recently. He'd set up a GoFundMe to try and get people to donate money so he could buy all his back catalogue back that was actually owned by some big record labels to own it. Because it is apparent when you've been in the industry like 20 years, you do want to own your old music, don't you? You want to come back to that and have your legacy.
Well, I wouldn't mind having a label that, you know, owns the music, as long as it's a fair label. I am happy and thankful that I am signed to a label that has treated me very fairly. They helped me a lot. And now, of course, the deal is changing a little bit more because my situation also changed. Like, when they signed me first, they were taking a bigger chunk of the royalties, but they were also giving me a generous advance, which I used to get out of Venezuela. You know, that was my ticket out of the country to be able to go live in the States. And I struggled a bit there, but I just kept pushing forward. And then it brought me here, and I kept pushing forward. And here I am with a room full of synths. You know, now the next step would be, of course, you know, owning your own place. I know that these prices are ridiculous, but there's always a way. There's always, you know, you got to probably maybe look elsewhere. But that's a situation that changed for me. In the beginning, all I wanted was to get out, and they helped me. So I try to be a thankful guy, you know, I cannot forget what they did for me. So I'm also like, I also think there's the other side to this, which is artists not remembering that labels do help. Labels are not necessarily always these evil people, corporations that are just, some people are definitely used. And there's definitely some evil people out there we gotta watch.
What's up, everyone? Lee UHF here, the host of DNB Wraps. Thank you for watching our videos. If you like what you're hearing and seeing on the channel, please make sure you're subscribing to it. Please make sure you thumbs up the videos, and more importantly, let's get some comments going as well. It really helps the channel, and in order for us to provide this content to you, we do need the channel to grow. So we can't do this without your help. Hope you enjoy the video. Speak to you soon.